Welcome to The Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. This week we're going over the WSET Level 1 test, and it's the practical episode today for Saturday. And this week it's about something specific, how to keep learning after a formal course ends, because the most common thing that happens after a WSET qualification at any level is that the momentum of structured study fades, course materials get filed somewhere, and the knowledge starts to blur at the edges without the reinforcement of regular testing and engagement. So today I want to give you the habits and resources that counteract the drift based on what I've found to be most effective before and on my own Level 1 experience. The single most effective learning habit in wine, bar none, is keeping a wine journal. Not elaborate, but formal tasting notes in the WSET's SAT format. That level of rigor is excellent for developing discipline, but too demanding for everyday use. So, just this, the name of the wine, the producer, the vintage, the grape and the region, if you know them, 1 to 2 sentences about what you noticed when you drank it and whether you'd buy it again. That's 4 or 5 lines per bottle. Done consistently over 6 months creates something really valuable, a personal reference document calibrated entirely to your own palate and your own purchasing decisions. The act of writing those notes, however briefly, also forces you to pay attention in the moment in a way that passive drinking doesn't. And reading back through the journal after 3 or 6 months shows you how your vocabulary and precisions have developed, which is motivating in a way that's hard to replicate any other with. Books. The wine book ecosystem is enormous and uneven, but a few titles stand out as really useful at the stage immediately following a Level 1 qualification. Jancis Robinson's Oxford Companion to Wine is the definitive reference book, not designed to be read cover to cover, but invaluable as a look-up resource when you encounter a term, region, or producer you don't know. Next, The Wine Bible by Karen McNeil is more readable and narrative, organized by region, providing the kind of context and story that most formula curriculum doesn't have room for. And Wine Folly by Madeline Puckett is the most visually accessible introduction to wine geography and style, useful if you learn better from maps and diagrams than from dense text. For those interested in pursuing the WSET Level 2 or beyond, the official WSET course books are the most directly relevant preparation material available. Next is digital resources. The website and app of Jancis Robinson is subscription-based, but the most authoritative and consistently upward wine reference available online. Wine Searcher allows you to look up any wine and find current pricing, ratings, and availability, both useful for research and for building a sense of how wine is priced internationally. Vivino is the most accessible wine rating and scanning app, and while its crowdsourced ratings should be taken with a grain of salt, its database of wines and the ability to scan a label and get instant information is really useful in real-world buying situations. Finally, the Wine Scholar Guild offers alternative education pathways for those who want a regional knowledge in Italian, French, or Spanish wine specifically, as a complement or an alternative to WSET. The most important non-habit resource, other people. Wine knowledge accelerates fastest in the company of other people who are also engaged in learning about it. A regular tasting group, even 2 or 3 friends who share a bottle with attention once a month, provides more practical palate development than most formal courses. A trusted relationship with a knowledgeable wine shop buyer provides access to recommendations and context that no other book or app replicates. And following winemakers, importers, and educators on social media creates a low-effort stream of current information about harvest, vintages, new releases, and regional developments that keeps knowledge current in a way that a qualification printed months ago cannot. The overall approach I'd recommend for a wine student after Level 1, journal every bottle, read 1 good wine book in the next 3 months, find 1 local wine shop whose buyer you trust and visit them with questions, and consider whether Level 2 is something you want to pursue. For me, it's definitely going to be in the cards. The qualification gave you the framework, everything else fills it in, and the filling in is the part that never ends, which is also the part that makes wine so endlessly worth paying attention to and fun. One last thought on this, the best wine education is the one that keeps you curious rather than the one that makes you feel like you've arrived. A qualification is a milestone, but not a destination, and the people who enjoy wine most deeply are always the ones who maintain a real sense of how much they don't know yet, because that feeling is what keeps them opening new bottles, exploring unfamiliar regions, and asking questions that lead them somewhere interesting. Stay curious. The wine world is far larger than any course, qualification, and certainly any podcast can fully cover. Tomorrow, we'll do the weekly wrap-up. You won't want to miss it. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. We'll see you tomorrow for the next Decant.